Perched high up on volcanic rock for over 900 years, Edinburgh Castle isn't just a fortress. It's a time capsule into royal interiors, war rooms, and scandalous secrets. So let's go inside. First, we have to cross over the drawbridge and the dry moat because this is truly the castliest castle of all castles. And here we enter the Great Hall. It was built in 1511 by King James IV. It was built for great banquets and ceremonies, but it is important to note that this isn't quite how it looked back in 1511. It did go through a pretty extensive Victorian renovation in the late 19th century, which is a little bit of a bummer, but it's still super cool. And what I would give if the medievals had cameras, because I would have loved to see this beauty in its heyday. Here it's pictured in 1894. But what this room is probably most known for is its hammer beam roof. This thing is incredible. There are no nails and no screws in the construction of this roof, which is just like some sort of medieval sorcery. The walls were once glittered with tapestries and gold leaf crests. Today, they're lined with medieval weapons and armor, and I cannot be the only one that wants to know the history of these armors right here. Like, who wore these? What's their history? I need to know. And this little gem, well, this is St. Margaret's Chapel. It was built around 1130, and it is the oldest surviving building in all of Edinburgh. It was hand carved in Romanesque style for Queen Margaret, who would later be canonized as a saint. And they still do weddings and christenings today, which is like the coolest thing. Can you imagine getting married here? Now let's mosey on over to the Royal Palace Apartments, where Mary, Queen of Scots, would give birth to James VI in 1566. The interiors of the birthing room were reimagined in the 1600s with carved oak paneling and a painted ceiling in Renaissance style, fit for a queen plotting dynasties. But Mary's birth to James was far from peaceful, and whew, honey, I can relate. But according to legend, one of Mary's companions actually tried to use witchcraft to transfer her birth pains onto a servant. And firstly, that poor servant, she's probably over there like, what did I do to deserve this? But secondly, would you do this? Oh, my first birth was pretty traumatic, so I may have tried to do that when I was in the thick of it. I'm not going to even lie. And all of that birth pain would eventually result in King James VI, who would become king at only 13 months old. But considering his mom Mary became queen at only 6 days old, he was seriously slacking, if you ask me. Like, get to work. Eventually, he would become the first monarch ever to rule both England and Scotland. And just steps away, the crown room, where the crown jewels of Scotland that were lost for over a century were rediscovered. Where? Underneath the floorboards, like a cliche crime novel. I love it, by Sir Walter Scott. But not all of the interiors in the castle were royal. Let me just tell you, because here are the prison vaults that held prisoners from American Revolution soldiers all the way to pirates. Some of those prisoners would even carve their names in the wood because, I mean, what the hell else are you gonna do? There's also a carving down there that is thought to be one of the earliest depictions of the American flag. I mean, just so cool. There are so many interesting stories about prisoners that tried to escape the prison vaults. Here is a hole right here showing you where, but there's this one story about how one of the prisoners in 1799 noticed that they were throwing all of the vats of human waste, shall we say, down the side of the cliff edge. And so he thought it would be a good idea to sneak himself in there, and all of the poo, and got lodged down the ravine, survived, and then got caught and was hauled up by gunpoint. So was it worth it? I mean, can you imagine that walk of shame? Can't think of anything worse. And also, this is the edge of the castle for reference. Imagine rolling down this, covered in human shit. Just imagine. Or better yet, don't. From sacred chapels to birthing spells, every room in Edinburgh Castle tells a story. And the interiors, well, they've seen it all.